The hangar was silent. Shafts of light pierced through dusty windows, spilling across rows of silent aircraft. The air smelled of oil and metal, heavy and still. On a steel bench sat Lieutenant Commander Elena Voss, call sign Wraith. Her hands rested on a Barrett 50 cal, the long black rifle balanced across her lap, steady and familiar. To her, it wasn't just a weapon, it was memory, vengeance, and the last piece of herself the Navy hadn't stripped away. Her eyes were calm, her breathing controlled. She had sat with this rifle in deserts, on rooftops, and on mountains. Every scar in its frame told a story carved in blood and time. Every shot she had fired was burned into her bones. The rifle knew her as well as she knew it. Bootsteps echoed through the hangar. Sharp and confident, they cut through the stillness like a blade. The Admiral entered, tall and broad, a wall of medals across his chest. His presence filled the space like a storm rolling in. He didn't speak. His gaze went straight to the rifle, then his hand reached for it. "Hands off my gun," Elena said, her voice low but sharp. He glanced at her, half amused, half annoyed. "Voss, everything in this hangar belongs to the Navy, including that," he said. Her jaw clenched, her grip tightening slightly. "Not this one," she replied. "This one's mine." He smirked and slid his fingers closer, brushing the barrel. Before he could grip it, Elena's hand shot up, her fingers clamped around his wrist, crushing bone and snapping arrogance like dry wood. The sound echoed through the hangar. His smirk vanished instantly. She leaned close, her voice a razor whisper in his ear. "I said hands off my gun." He yanked his hand back, masking pain with anger. "You've forgotten your place," he hissed. "No," she replied, her eyes never leaving his. "I remember exactly where my place is." Silence stretched between them like a loaded weapon. Finally, with a sharp turn, the Admiral walked out. His pride was stung deeper than his wrist. Elena let her shoulders ease, but she knew this wasn't finished. She was never supposed to be here after Kandahar. After the ambush that left her the only one breathing when her team should have walked out together. They called her broken and said survivor's guilt clouded her judgment, so they grounded her, forced her to train recruits who didn't yet understand war. But Elena wasn't broken, not yet. Hours later, alarms screamed across the base. Red lights flashed and radios spat urgent codes. Words burned across the monitors. SEAL Team Omega compromised, captured alive, immediate extraction required. Officers swarmed the room, circling maps and arguing routes. The mission was suicide. The enemy dug in and waiting. Without Overwatch, a rescue was impossible. Then someone shouted, "Who's got long rifle?" Silence answered. The assigned sniper was injured, and the backup wasn't qualified. The gap in the plan yawned open like a grave. Then boots echoed again. Elena Voss stepped forward, her Barrett slung over her shoulder. "Put me in," she said, calm and certain. The Admiral stood at the far end, eyes burning with resistance. He wanted to bury her under protocol and end her career, but everyone in the room knew the truth. Without her, Omega was lost. The squad leader didn't hesitate. "Wraith's in." The Admiral said nothing, his silence heavy and bitter. The Black Hawk's rotors thundered through the night. The rescue team sat packed inside, weapons tight, faces grim. In the corner sat Elena, the Barrett resting against her knees. She didn't speak, and she didn't need to. Some of the men had heard whispers of Kandahar and Mosul. Others thought they were just stories. Watching her now, silent and steady, they realized the stories hadn't done her justice. The crew chief shouted, 30 minutes out!" Elena stared into the dark sky. She wasn't seeing the night, she was seeing ghosts. Her old team, 4 brothers she had trusted with her life. The ambush replayed, dust, blood, and silence screaming in her mind. Her hands tightened on the rifle. Guilt tried to drag her under, but she forced it back. "Not tonight," she whispered. The past would not steal the present. A young SEAL leaned toward her, hands trembling. "Ma'am, you really think we can pull this off?" She met his eyes, her voice cutting clean through the roar. "We don't think, we do, and you don't die tonight." The chopper dipped lower over jagged terrain. 30 seconds, the crew chief yelled. Elena rose, moving with no wasted motion. When the ropes dropped, the team vanished into the night. Elena climbed higher instead. She found her perch on a jagged ridge, belly flat against stone. The Barrett unfolded like a predator awakening. Through her scope, the village below came into focus. Enemy guards moved lazily, unaware death already had them marked. Elena slowed her breathing, the world shrinking to the reticle. She squeezed the trigger. The shot thundered like judgment. Chaos erupted below. She shifted smoothly, another target, another shot. A voice crackled over comms. "Who's covering us?" The answer came steady and cold. Wraith. Doubt vanished instantly. Every enemy who raised a rifle fell. Doorways became kill zones. Rooftops were graves. Elena didn't blink, didn't miss, didn't hesitate. She wasn't just a sniper, she was inevitability. Searchlights snapped on, but each beam only painted another target. Her scope tracked a man sprinting with a radio. She fired. The radio clattered from limp fingers as the man collapsed. "Radio down," she murmured. The team advanced like a tide. At the compound's edge, a chained metal door rattled. Omega was inside. "We've got them," Hawk said. "Already on you," Elena replied. The door blew open and bloodied men stumbled free. Machine gun fire ripped down the street. Hawk shouted, "Gunner, second floor!" Elena already had him. She whispered Kandahar and fired. The round tore through sandbags, gunner and weapon alike. The rescue surged forward. Then the Admiral's voice cut in. "Voss, pull back!" The word enough stabbed deeper than bullets. But the fight wasn't finished. A technical truck roared towards the team. Elena's jaw clenched. "Negative," she said calmly. She fired, and the truck exploded in flames. The enemy broke. Elena stayed until the last man boarded. When she finally climbed aboard, the rescued men looked at her with reverence. No words were needed. Dawn broke as the Black Hawk returned. Every SEAL was alive. Elena sat quietly, the barrel still warm. "You saved us," a young man said. "No," she replied softly. "You saved yourselves." But they knew better. Without her, none of them would have made it home. On the tarmac, noise faded as Elena stepped forward. Eyes followed her not because she was different, but because she had done the impossible. The Admiral waited, stone-faced. "You disobeyed a direct order," he said. Elena didn't flinch. "I followed the mission. I brought them home." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The Admiral's authority shattered in silence. Elena stepped closer, her voice cold and final. "Hands off my gun." That night, alone, she traced the scars on the rifle. Kandahar, befallen, and the saved lived in its weight. She whispered, "I did it for you." Dawn light spilled across her face as the ghosts watched on.